Hello everybody and welcome to another Gear Talk, and this time I want to talk about pixel shifting with the Pentax K1 and a subject that is a still life subject. I have an assignment coming up and it's taking pictures and still life small objects. And I was wondering if using the pixel shifting with the Pentax K1 can be worth to kind of improve the quality. It's something that probably some of the pictures will be printed very large, so it was a nice idea to think about it. So I decided to do some test myself. I took some objects I have here on the desktop and I created a little subject. I illuminated obviously with a continuous light source and made a test with the pixel shifting on, pixel shifting off, and these kind of things. I just added it to tell you that I decided to put all the original files available for download on my website. So you go to the link that is up there or look down in the description of the video and you can download the original files. So you can play with them, you can tweak them as you prefer, and you can decide by yourself is it worth to do the pixel shift or not for a subject like that one. And before we go on, if you want to support the channel, please put a like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to go a step further, check out my website here or the link down there in the description, and you can find a lot of ways to support this channel, included buying the books that I write, and they are pretty good, so check them out. This out of the way, the pixel shifting is something that is very nice. If you never used it or you don't know what it is, it's very simple. The camera will take four different pictures, moving the sensor 1 pixel in each direction, so and put the images together. This will create something that is absolutely fantastic, because the problem with the digital sensor is that you have to render the colors, you have the bi-arm pattern in front of the sensor. So for each pixel you will just get one of the RGB colors values. So there will be 2 greens, 1 red, 1 blue. So every pixel will have just the value for one of the channels. But if you shift the sensor and take different pictures, you manage to have all the RGB values for every pixel. So the color is not a guessing of the colors, is not something that must be interpolated from the bi-arm pattern, and so the pixel will have a real color with real triplet RGB. And it's something that is really great if you want very accurate colors, especially very subjects that have very small details. I give you an example, taking pictures on a landscape or something like that. You have these kind of things that in the image are relatively small compared to the image, and basically they become on the size of the single pixel. So with that, to do the pixel shift really improves the quality. But I was wondering, okay, I have to do this subject, this is still life, and will it be worth? There is one thing that we have to consider. First of all, the fact that with pixel shifting you cannot use the flash. You must use continuous light, because obviously it's 4 different pictures, and so you cannot have a very short flash or the other shots will be dark. And to do everything with continuous light will mean, example in my case, to change all my studio workflow. I love to use flashes because I can go very high power without problem, without heating, without consuming too much energy, because basically the flash is much more efficient also as a cost of energy. So that's the thing. And to do the pixel shifting for me means also to change all the workflow. So I decided, yes, I really want to test if it's worth. And here you can see the subject that I took, the still life that I took, by the way, is back there on the back also. And it's very simple. I put together some things with a lot of details, some colors, and these kind of things. I usually elaborate all the images in Capture One because it's a program that I like, easy to use, very good results. But Capture One is not able to manage the Pixelshift file of the Pentax K1. So basically, if you use a Pixelshift image and elaborate with Capture One, and I think it's the same for Lightroom and other software, and you just have basically the program will look at the first of the 4 images and treat it like a single image, not a Pixelshift image. So to do all the elaboration of the file, there are different options. One is the program that comes with your Pentax, and it's nice, but it's very slow and it's very, I don't know, kind of painful to use in my opinion. Is not one of the best, and the problem that it has that insert always some kind of auto sharpening and all these kind of things. There's not much control that you can give to your images with that software. So I went with the other choice, and this is Raw Therapy. Raw Therapy is a fantastic raw converter. First of all, it's open source, it's free, so it's very nice because you can get it and try it, and it's very deep. When you use Raw Therapy, you really must know what you are doing. And Raw Therapy is a fantastic feature that lets you decide what is the algorithm using for the demosaicing of the Bayer pattern or the Fuji pattern or what you want. And there's an option there that says pixel shifting. So natively it gets the file and it considers that the file has the 3 values of RGB inside with the system for every pixel, and so it works perfectly to do the pixel shifting. Raw Therapy is a nice program, I like it. It's kind of very complex. What is nice with Raw Therapy is that you can just create receipts, and you can create basically a prefixed way to elaborate the image and just apply that to every image that you want and these kind of things. But it's very complex. As a workflow, easiness to use, yes, I'm still for Capture One or Lightroom if you like it. I don't personally, but that programs are much easier to use. Raw Therapy is very complex and so it's very powerful and so a little bit complex to use. But I took the pictures, I developed them with Raw Therapy, and you can see here on Photoshop, I can go on, I can zoom in and zoom out and all these kind of things, and you can see that absolutely, if you stay at 200 ISO, the difference is almost non-existent. By the way, always use the tripod, always use the mirror lockup and these kind of things, but and the remote to shoot. But at the end, for that kind of subject, there's almost no difference at all. And this is something that I was impressed, because when I tested it with landscape, it made the difference. It's really made a little bit of difference. But probably in this kind of subject, I have no details that are so thin and so small to become comparable to the size of the pixel on the image. So at the end of the game, is worth to do all the effort and use another software, change all my workflow, go on continuous light. For a subject like that, probably not. If I had to consider to do pixel shift for a still life, I will consider it with subject as silk. Silk has a very thin pattern, very lot of moire can give on the camera, so yes, that's for sure. But for a subject like this, and I will do things this size and this kind of precision, the extra effort to go pixel shift for every image, and that means much more time in converting the images and so on, because sadly Pentax has not worked with some good software company to create something like, I don't know, just try collaboration with Capture One or something like that, so you can have the features of your camera straight in a software that's easy to use. But sadly, Pentax didn't do that. So I had to basically change everything and develop with raw therapy and this kind of thing. And it means for every image is a lot more. And for the next assignment, we are talking about probably a couple of hundred images. So add just, I don't know, 10 minutes for every image, and you see that is a lot of hours at the end. So here you can see the difference is not absolutely worth for me to use the pixel shifting. Also, if again, is a feature that I really love, and I think in a lot of situations that can be a really great feature. And one situation where it's fantastic is with high ISO. I did the same pictures at 6400 ISO, and as you can see here, everything changes because the normal one has a lot of color noise inside. The one with the pixel shifting, absolutely the color noise disappear and remain just the monochromatic noise that is kind of a little grain, but the difference is day and night. So if you are in a situation where you cannot control the light, you cannot have a lot of light, and you have to go higher with the ISO, absolutely go with the pixel shifting, because that will change everything. But here you've seen the two pictures used with raw therapy, and now I show you the picture, the pixel shift with raw therapy, compared to the picture that is the single file and developed with Capture One. And as you can see, there are little differences. Capture One is more contrasting. There's probably some sharpening inside the conversion. But if you look at the difference, there's some difference, but if you tweak the programs, you can make the file pretty equal. And here again, there's not that difference in the sharpness or in the color rendition, also in the small details. That made me think, yes, I will do all this extra work to use the pixel shifting. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you use it, when you use it, and what do you think about the pixel shifting. As I said before, I like it. I like the fact that I can do it. I think there are subjects where it's fantastic. Astrophotography is one of them. If you want to go high with the ISO, absolutely. If you have very small details in the image, like a landscape or something like that, where you want a smaller detail with the precise color, absolutely, that is fantastic. But in this case, just a normal image. Let me know what you think, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.